Sex is a battlefield. Animals will go to every extreme to mate and ensure their survival. Without sex, a species is history. Its genes a dead end. From violent couplings to sperm wars, to mating rituals, and finally, amazingly, to love. Sex drives evolution, and evolution drives sex. In nature, it really is all about sex. Just off the coast of Bimini Island in the Bahamas, scientists are studying a marvel of evolution. Over millions of years, evolution has built the protruding jaw and razor-sharp teeth of the ocean's master predator. But sharks are more than just killing machines. They are pioneers of sex.
500 million years ago, sharks really invented what people would call sex.
Sam Gruber has studied sharks for 45 years.
People basically don't know much about sharks, and they think of them as the death fish from hell, but really they're highly, highly sophisticated, tremendous animals.
In addition to complex navigation and communication systems, sharks were one of the first to develop a whole new way to have sex.
May not look like very much, but it represents a huge evolutionary leap in reproductive behavior. If you look very closely, you'll see these two little finger-like projections, which are called claspers, are actually the penis of the male shark.
400 million years ago, sharks became one of the first vertebrates to evolve a penis. But they were hardly the last. Over millions of years, the penis proved so valuable that it evolved independently in animals as different as insects, birds, and reptiles.
The penis is a good example of convergent evolution because it serves one purpose, but it's arisen in many different ways in a variety of organisms.
But how did the penis become so vital? 700 million years ago, sharks, fish, and other vertebrates have yet to evolve. Sea life is instead comprised of simple, single-celled creatures. To pass on their genes, they don't have to partner up. They can reproduce by themselves.
Reproduction before sex was all asexual. Asexual reproduction means that you just make copies of yourself and send them off into the environment. They have all of your genes and no one else's.
Asexual reproduction does guarantee that 100% of an organism's genes are passed on. But on the evolutionary battlefield, this strategy has one serious flaw. When each and every creature shares the exact same genes, they also share the same genetic weak spots.
Imagine that a virus shows up on the scene, and that virus attacks you if you have a very specific gene sequence in your DNA. Now, if everyone in your population has the same DNA, that means that that virus is going to wipe everyone out.
But with sexual reproduction, the mixing and matching of genes increases the odds of at least some individuals living on. The secret to survival is sex. The first animals to adopt sexual reproduction emerged 600 million years ago. But the sex they practiced is not what humans might imagine. These passive creatures, relatives of modern coral, were tightly anchored to the sea floor. How can you mate when you can't move? Cast sperm and eggs on the waves and hope they meet. Each summer, billions of coral polyps simultaneously launch their reproductive cells into the current. Each coral releases both sperm and egg, but instead of combining with each other, they wait until they encounter the seeds of another coral. No one knows how they do it. This mass spawning is one of nature's most arresting spectacles. But it evolved as a matter of survival.
Mass spawning by corals could be called a defense mechanism. Having all of the eggs and sperm released at the same time allows some of the offspring to survive even when there are predators around. You swamp the predators, you produce so many that they can't all be eaten by those predators at that point in time.
For stationary animals, casting DNA into the ocean may have been the only way to sexually reproduce. But a new class of creatures was about to evolve, and sex would evolve with them.